Good evening. I am Brendan Godfrey, IEEE-USA 2021 Vice President for Communications. I welcome everyone joining us for our virtual awards ceremony. To begin, I would like to introduce our Master of Ceremonies, 2021 IEEE-USA Awards Chair, Jason Hui. Jason?
Thank you to everyone for joining us. Each year, we honor those who have contributed significantly to our mission. It is a great privilege to honor individuals who have made such meaningful contributions to IEEE-USA, to IEEE, and to our profession. So let's get started. Our first award celebrates the volunteer spirit of IEEE's most revered volunteer, 2007 IEEE-USA President John Meredith. A longtime IEEE member, John gave decades of service as a volunteer with an impressive list of accomplishments. He served on dozens of committees and boards at the section, region, and national level, was active in the communications and circuits and systems societies, helped organize countless conferences, and was honored with awards multiple times. He brought a wealth of experience from his years in the Navy, industry, and academia, and never gave up his passion for learning. He is dearly missed. The IEEE-USA John Meredith Professional Service Award recognizes key individuals for outstanding IEEE-USA volunteer efforts and contributions. This could be described as our Volunteer of the Year Award for IEEE-USA. We are happy to announce that Thomas Pierpoint is this year's recipient of this prestigious award. IEEE-USA is recognizing Thomas for significantly enhancing the effectiveness of the IEEE-USA Energy Policy Committee and its contributions to the public good. At this time, I'd like to introduce Veronica Rabel, who nominated Thomas for this award.
It is always a pleasure to have the opportunity to introduce Tom Pierpoint. I recruited Tom to join the Energy Policy Committee, EPC, and was thrilled when he became chair of the committee. Now, what I did not know at the time, that COVID would strike right after his very first in-person meeting, and that he would be offered the position of VP of Engineering at Austin, Texas, and would move out of the DC area. Now, at that point, I was really worried about the future of EPC. But as always, Tom managed to deliver. His outstanding organizational and interpersonal skills helped overcome all of these obstacles, and honestly, against all odds, he succeeded in making EPC even better than it was before. He succeeded in creating more discussion and working opportunities by switching from quarterly meetings to monthly 1-hour remote meetings, which substantially raised member participation and interest in EPC activities and products. In fact, we had around 20 people attending each of these meetings. Tom also improved the working relationship with the IEEE-USA leadership, and that added another layer of success that contributed to the development of 6 position statements, 4 white papers, and of a number of new initiatives and topical discussion sessions. Now, you need to understand, this was the time when the entire world of electricity started changing. And it started down a path of a radical change beyond recognition, a different world, and all of the documents that were produced during Tom's leadership covered topics that were of keen interest to the IEEE membership as well as to public at large. Tom also put more order into the EPC procedures by initiating an effort to monitor progress of documents that were either submitted or under development by the EPC. This allowed the committee to continuously reassess its focus, its capabilities, and scope in addressing the most important issues. Tom richly deserves the John Meredith Professional Service Award, and I am most pleased to have been successful in nominating him for this award. Thank you. Thank you, Tom.
Veronica, thank you for bringing Tom's efforts to our attention and taking the time to nominate him. Thomas's background has also strengthened the ties between EPC and the IEEE Power and Energy Society, providing the opportunity to share technical information on a broader scale. The closer bond between the two organizations provides for a deeper level of expertise and a forum to provide engineering information to energy policy makers. Without further delay, I'd like to welcome Thomas Pierpoint.
Thank you. I'm honored to be this year's recipient of the John Meredith Professional Service Award from the IEEE-USA. IEEE-USA serves as a resource for enhancing the professional growth and career advancement of U.S. IEEE members. Through its government relations programs, the IEEE-USA works with all three branches of the federal government to help shape the workforce and technology policy to the benefit of members, the profession, and the American public. It has been a privilege to work with the IEEE experts and staff as part of the Energy Policy Committee. This is a pivotal time in the electric industry. The expertise offered by this team is important as the U.S. continues to transition to carbon-free energy, advanced smart grid devices, and electric vehicles. This transition has to be done while still ensuring the physical and cybersecurity of the nation's electric grid. I have very much appreciated working with the skilled and energized IEEE-USA team during this critical time in the electric industry. Thank you very much.
The George McClure Citation of Honor is also named after one of our most dedicated IEEE-USA volunteers, George F. McClure. The George F. McClure Citation of Honor recognizes individuals who have made exemplary contributions toward achieving the aims of professional activities in the United States. This year, we are pleased to recognize two deserving individuals with this award. First up is Dr. Guru Prasad Madhavan. I'd like to introduce Dr. Barbara Oakley, who nominated Dr. Madhavan for this award.
Guru Madhavan has worked and published with leaders in at least 25 different fields and maintained a strong focus on making the results accessible to decision makers and the public. Yet he has still managed to find the time and energy to volunteer on countless IEEE and IEEE-USA committees, including 2 terms as Vice President of Professional Activities for IEEE-USA, that's from 2015 through 2016, and Founding Chair Co-Curator of the groundbreaking IEEE-USA Future Leaders Forum held in New Orleans in 2016. Guru's work with students has been a clear passion. In addition to his role with the Future Leaders Forum, Dr. Madhavan served several years as member, vice chair, and chair of the IEEE-USA Student Professional Awareness Committee, SPAC. Outside of IEEE, Dr. Madhavan's achievements, among many others, include being the youngest senior leader at the National Academies, leading a complex systems engineering approach to guide a national strategy for cancer control in the United States, serving as lead advisor to the European Union Malaria Fund, and leading the technical and clinical characterization of the microwave ablation catheter for treating atrial fibrillation, a debilitating heart condition. Guru Madhavan is unique in his breadth, depth, and diversity of background and achievements in engineering, policy, and public engagement. He is a remarkable example of a rare practitioner, scholar, and technical leader in applying systems engineering concepts to guide policy decisions. And I am proud to have nominated him for this recognition.
Thank you, Dr. Oakley. I'd like to welcome Dr. Guru Prasad Madhavan.
Greetings from Washington, D.C. My name is Guru Madhavan. The George F. McClure Citation of Honor recognizes some of my ongoing work at the National Academy of Engineering, one of the three branches of the National Academies created during the Civil War by President Abraham Lincoln to provide advice to the nation on matters of science, engineering, and medicine. My team believes in the idea that likening engineering only to technology and not sociology is like saying that evolution is only gene-based and not related to culture, and economics is about rationality and has nothing to do with behavior. That is, to engineer responsibly requires a fundamental appreciation of people, systems, and culture. In the mixed company of technology, society, and policy, engineering for people, systems, and culture is no longer sufficient. The emphasis needs to expand to encompass the people, systems, and culture of engineering. This is a vital step in making the profession more inclusive and welcoming to the broadest range of perspectives, philosophies, and participants. Engineering's past was grounded in the Industrial Revolution. Engineering's future must be about inclusive evolution. That's the essence of the international programs that I'm very fortunate to lead at the National Academy of Engineering. I thank my entire team and IEEE-USA for this booster shot of a recognition. I profusely appreciate the George F. McClure Citation of Honor.
Our next George McClure Award recipient in alphabetical order is Dr. Asad Mandi. His nominator, Dr. Ram Shriram of NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, is here to tell us a little more about Dr. Mandi.
Dr. Asad Madni's commitment to the socio-economic and diversity aspects are in three areas: education, research, and entrepreneurship. As an educator and executive director of USC's flagship Systems Architecting and Engineering program, Dr. Madni has introduced many new courses and transformed the curriculum by adding relevant content from other related disciplines to ensure that graduates from his program are well-rounded engineers. As a researcher, Dr. Madni defined the field of transdisciplinary systems engineering to address problems that appear intractable when viewed solely through an engineering lens. He has led research in safety and resilience of autonomous vehicles, conducted pioneering work in new approaches to resilient systems design, and drove research in experiential design and distributed cognition for product engineering and manufacturing. As an entrepreneur, Dr. Madni is the co-founder of Intelligent Systems Technology, Inc., which conducts artificial intelligence research for the aerospace and autonomous vehicles industries and the Department of Defense. His company has received numerous industry awards, and its rapid growth under his leadership has allowed him to offer paid internships and fellowships to high school, undergraduate, and graduate students with a focus on underrepresented groups. For his philanthropy and mentorship of students worldwide, Dr. Madni received the INCOSE Benefactor Award. This was only the second time in 31 years that INCOSE has made this award. He is currently overseeing humanitarian projects in developing countries and is working with IEEE Smart Village to launch new humanitarian projects. Dr. Madni is the only engineer I know who, after a stellar career in industry as a highly successful corporate executive and entrepreneur, came to academia and earned the highest designation of USC University Professor, a designation that honors the university's most accomplished multidisciplinary faculty. Dr. Madni is a member of the National Academy of Engineering and a life fellow or fellow of 9 professional science and engineering societies, including IEEE. Dr. Madni has given a lifetime of dedicated effort in support of IEEE. He has done outstanding work in the advancement of the social, economic, legal, and ethical aims of IEEE professional activities. It has been my honor to nominate Dr. Azad Madni for this award. Thank you.
Everybody, please welcome Dr. Azad Madni.
Thank you. I've been asked to say a few words today on what engineering needs to focus on. Before I do that, I want to recognize the stellar job that IEEE-USA continues to do year after year in serving the IEEE engineering community in the United States. Now, a few words about what we engineers need to focus on. The first is to exploit convergence of engineering with other disciplines. Engineering and societal problems today are much too complex to be addressed solely through an engineering lens. We need to exploit the growing synergies of engineering with other disciplines such as biology, psychology, sociology, economics, and yes, the entertainment arts. We need to exploit diversity. Members of underrepresented groups are potentially a significant source of competitive advantage. Educational institutions need to attract and graduate members of under-resourced groups in large numbers to effectively fill the 21st century workforce pipeline. The third is continuing commitment to disruptive innovation. In the US, we have a rich history of game-changing innovation, which has allowed us to stay ahead, even though we produce far fewer engineers than other countries. The next is increasing emphasis on safety, sustainability, and resilience. These properties have to be built into how systems are conceptualized and engineered. They all come at a cost and cannot be an afterthought. Systems are much too complex today, which increases the likelihood of unintended consequences. The next is paying real attention to ethics, privacy, and security. With the increasing use of AI and machine learning and increasing system complexity, ethics, privacy, and security concerns need to be addressed upfront to prevent misuse of personal information. These concerns can be expected to become even more acute in the era of the Internet of Things. The next is understanding and minimizing cognitive bias. Cognitive bias needs to be understood and dealt with explicitly. Cognitive bias can compromise trade-off analysis and result in poor designs. As important, cognitive bias can stifle innovation. The next is maintaining political awareness. Politics plays a key in what programs eventually get funded. Therefore, if technology strategies are to be successful, they need to address political considerations. The next is ensuring policy keeps up with technology advances. The rapid pace of technology advance has made it difficult for policy to keep up. Today's policymakers need to understand both policy and technology in sufficient depth to produce effective policy. Specifically, they need a background in ethics, policy, social science, and human-centered design. Science and engineering curricula needs to include this material.
My superpower is engineering. I've been a roboticist almost all my life now. I think engineering is just as creative as the arts. Engineers, we solve problems. It impacts the world. It makes a difference. Without IEEE, I don't think I would have the network that I have. Anyone can get involved with IEEE-USA at any time. There's an immense amount of value for anyone at any career stage.
Entrepreneurship improves productivity, spurs innovation, and creates jobs. Entrepreneurship helps in developing communication and sales skills that are the key component of business today. IEEE-USA's Entrepreneur Achievement Award for Leadership in Entrepreneurial Spirit recognizes a key individual who has been instrumental in furthering both entrepreneurial growth and spirit in the United States. We'd like to announce this year's recipient, Dr. Ranjan Nag. At this time, I'd like to welcome his nominator, Arun Sapti.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to start with the sentence that I'm going to conclude with. I am very proud to nominate Dr. Ranjan Nag for the Entrepreneur Achievement Award. Professor Ranjan Nag is currently an adjunct professor in genetics at the Stanford School of Medicine. Now, I went to engineering school and I never had anyone from a medical school background teaching me. My kids and my wife went to a medical school and they certainly didn't have anyone with an electrical engineering background teaching them. So this is a boundary, the boundary that Professor Ranjan Nag just crossed, a good sign of an entrepreneur. Ranjan is an inventor and an entrepreneur. He's been doing this for 30 years. He's founded companies. He's been an advisor. He's been a board member for multiple startups. And his companies have done well. They've been sold to Apple, to BlackBerry, and to Motorola. That's where I got to know him. We bought his company called Lexicon. Lexicon was one of his early achievements. It basically included the invention for predicting speech, handwriting, text, and recognizing these. It allowed us to improve our interactions with a mobile phone from just plain voice to different modes. He left Motorola and formed a company called Cellmania. I know, a name like that. But Cellmania was the very first application store. It democratized applications and resulted in billions of downloads. These are both firsts. Now, in addition, I think those are true signs of entrepreneurship. Now, in addition to all these technical achievements and innovations, I find the next part of entrepreneurship to be very rewarding. Ranjan has been volunteering for decades to provide mentoring and advice to entrepreneurs, the teaching aspect. He interacts with founders all over on an ad hoc basis, and more recently through a structure, an organization that he calls R42, which he set up to fund early stage companies and provide free artificial intelligence education and company founding experience. A thrust for R42 that I invested in was his pursuit on longevity. Other stuff that he's doing in terms of payback, and again, in the spirit of creative entrepreneurship, is he leads the MIT Alumni Angels of North California. This organization hears pitches from deep science companies which do not have necessarily to be from MIT, and arranges for funding from MIT alumni who are interested in this subject. Dr. Nag has a lot more to do in his career, and I see that not only running marathons, but also creating new companies is in full stride with him. On that note, I'll conclude with the very first sentence I started. I'm very proud to nominate my friend, Dr. Ranjan Nag, for Entrepreneurship Achievement in the USA. Thank you.
Thank you, Arun. We are pleased to introduce Dr. Ranjan Nag.
IEEE, I'm thrilled to bits to receive this award. The IEEE embodies the economic translation of science into engineering, the application of raw science into technologies that everyday people can use, benefit from, and even result in employment. In my case, I'm interested in deep science projects, things that seem impossible, but in fact, by using the entrepreneurial process, become possible. I started off in machine learning at Birmingham University, and then went on to Cambridge to work on speech recognition, and then went on to MIT to work on AI for finance, and then finally to Stanford to work in the psychology department to work on mathematical models and how the brain might work. After all that, no one would give me a job, so I had to start companies. First one was doing speech recognition and handwriting recognition for phones. Motorola bought that company. That was called Lexicus. The second one was doing the mobile app store. Really early in 1999, we were trying to crowdsource intelligence to fit into a phone. And by using the ecosystem, we got millions of people employed into that ecosystem. And finally, we sold that to BlackBerry, RIM. And then finally, I was more the investor advisor, back to natural language processing, into a company which got sold to Apple. So a lot of work with the mobile ecosystem. Last 10 years, really been looking at the intersection of biology and computer science, mathematics and medicine. And I think of myself as an entrepreneur, an inventor, but also a teacher. So here's my 1-minute lesson to be an entrepreneur in deep science. First of all, we need inspiration. In my case, inspiration was certainly from my teachers, but also from science fiction, movies, books, Star Trek. Which comes first, science or science fiction? Often as inventors, we're inspired by the ideas of people outside the engineering field, authors, movie producers. Second, work at an interdisciplinary level. My original field in speech processing involved signal processing, linguistics, psychology, and artificial intelligence. Then went on to artificial intelligence for finance. And in the last 10 years, really been looking at the intersection of mathematics and biology. At each stage, bring the learnings from one field to the other to bring something new to that field. Entrepreneurship itself is an interdisciplinary science. There's a framework to develop and screen ideas and how to implement those ideas, solutions to problems. For example, today I'm involved with Superpowered.ai, which is accelerating science by using AI and biology without writing code, the intersection of medicine and computer science again. Finally, develop charm. Entrepreneurship is a team sport. You need people to work with you, to follow you, to really encourage you with difficult journeys that you're going to have in the difficult journey of creating new companies. There will be negative experiences. Experience by itself means that you've made mistakes and you learn from those experiences. Finally, once you've made your accomplishments, give back, teach, mentor, require nothing in return, no quid pro quo, pay it forward. The network of all your interactions and your friends and your co-workers are much, much more valuable than any one interaction. IEEE, thank you very much for this award. I'm delighted to receive it today. Thank you very much.
Since 1992, IEEE-USA has administered the Harry Diamond Memorial Award. Previously an award of the IEEE, this award was first established in 1949 in honor of Harry Diamond, a longtime employee of the National Bureau of Standards. His professional life exemplified the highest type of engineering and scientific development effort. Each year, this award honors an individual for distinguished technical contributions in the field of electrical technology while in U.S. government service. The 2021 recipient of this prestigious honor is Dr. Charles Kamua. At this time, I'd like to welcome Professor Sachin Shetty, who has collaborated on several projects with him and has nominated him for this prestigious award.
Dr. Kamua's research record in blockchain and game theory for cybersecurity is exemplary. His leadership and partnership with industry and academia has resulted in solutions that address complex cybersecurity challenges in the battlefield and commercial sector. Currently a senior electronics engineer at the U.S. Army Combat Capabilities Development Command's Army Research Laboratory. His research ideas are truly novel and original and showcase his intellectual capacity to make an impact on new areas and create needed solutions to important problems. His work provides deep theoretical insights, new algorithms, and sound empirical evidence for using game theory to enhance network security and resilience beyond the current state of the art. Dr. Kamua has been a prolific researcher, having authored or co-authored more than 250 technical papers. He has also authored or edited 4 books related to network security and is also an inventor who owns 3 US patents with several more under review. In addition to all of his technical accomplishments, Dr. Kamua has mentored over 60 undergraduate and graduate students and junior faculty. For these reasons and many more, I'm excited to see his work acknowledged with this award. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Shetty. We are pleased to introduce Dr. Charles Kamua.
I am very grateful to receive this year Harry Diamond Memorial Award from IEEE. This award means a lot to me, and it's a consecration of 11 years working both at the Air Force Research Laboratory and Army Research Laboratory within the Department of Defense. I want to express my thanks to my early mentor in my research career, particularly Professor Nikki Piscino at Florida International University, where I graduated. She was my doctoral advisor, together with Dr. Kiamaki, with whom I'm also very thankful. I would like also to be thankful to Dr. Kevin Kiat, my postdoctoral advisor at the Air Force Research Laboratory. And I'm also grateful to all the graduate students, faculty member, and collaborator in different defense lab with whom I had the privilege of working and publishing good paper over the past decade. This award is a certified the good work that we have done together. You know, I'm grateful for that collaboration with all those partners. Thank you so much.
The IEEE-USA Award for Distinguished Public Service honors individuals not currently in the practice of engineering for contributions to furthering the professional goals of IEEE in the United States. These goals may be furthered by such means as promulgating laws or regulations benefiting the profession, influencing industrial environments to foster professionalism, creating curricula or publications designed to enhance professionalism, and other similar activities. This year's recipient of the IEEE-USA Award for Distinguished Public Service is Dr. Settaraman Panchanathan, Director of the National Science Foundation.
Dr. Panchanathan has a long and distinguished record of achievement in public service. He personally exemplifies the IEEE goal of advancing technology for humanity. This includes service in roles that advance U.S. competitiveness and also support the U.S. technological base. His extensive publications record supports IEEE publications, the IEL, and IEEE conferences. His work has also provided advancements that provide aids for people with impairments. His record of teaching and mentoring of students has helped build the foundation for future technological advances and a strong U.S. technology base. Perhaps the most impressive characteristic of his work is that it includes both breadth and depth. While many people are significant workers in one or two activities, Dr. Panchanathan has been a significant contributor to many different varieties of activities. This includes academia, entrepreneurship, and public service at many levels, as well as IEEE.
Due to Dr. Panchanathan's travel schedule, he is unable to join us for this ceremony. We will be presenting his award to him in person in the near future. Congratulations, Dr. Panchananthan.
Each year, we honor those who have contributed significantly to our mission. Selection of these award recipients from among many outstanding candidates is challenging, but well worth the effort. I wish to acknowledge the extensive work of the Awards and Recognition Committee, led by Jason Hui, both to select the award recipients and to improve our selection process.
There are deserving individuals in our community doing exceptional work in their areas of specialty. Oftentimes, these people who are doing this outstanding work are not recognized for their achievements. It is people like you who can change that. I want to thank all of our nominators and encourage you to visit the IEEE-USA Awards webpage and nominate a deserving person. This concludes the 2021 award ceremony. Thank you all for joining us today as we have honored those who have given distinguished service to IEEE and its professional activities. Let's give the recipients one last round of applause.